I'm Megan Scarano, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you about a Twitter trend that will make you think twice about where you spend your money.
I'm Sarah Potoracki, and up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how a new addition to South Park showcases how Morgantown is embracing diversity.
After 2 years, a Morgantown road has just opened. But what does this mean for local residents? I'm Madison Greer, and I'll have that story straight ahead. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
Lung issues, seizures, and even deaths. These are the dangers linked to vaping. And now there's a ban of e-cigarettes on the WVU campus. I'm Victoria Donatelli.
And I'm Jillian Brooks. We have the story of how one road that's been closed for almost 2 years is now open. But is it safe for drivers?
These stories and more on WVU News, an Emmy Award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University.
West Virginia leads the nation in cancer deaths and heart disease caused by tobacco use.
And now that vaping has been linked to major health issues, WVU is banning e-cigarettes on campus. Alex Baylog tells us how the university is leading the state to promote wellness for everyone.
While using e-cigarettes and vapes is popular amongst young adults ages 18 to 24, 40% of young adults who use e-cigarettes were not smokers before trying. Rocco Facillo is a state and local relations specialist at WVU who helped implement this new policy, and he believes that it can help make a difference outside of campus.
So we want to make sure they're safe and healthy. And as a state in West Virginia, we lead the nation in death by tobacco smoke, cardiovascular disease, tobacco smoking. So we want to make a statement as a land-grant flagship university to help change the culture in West Virginia.
In previous years, WVU has implemented a plan in order to make campus a tobacco-free campus. But now they're taking it a step further by banning all e-cigarette and vaping products as well in order to promote a healthier student body.
The 7 recent vaping-related deaths in the U.S. is even grabbing the attention of President Trump, who wants to ban flavored e-cigarettes. Some students believe that using these products is their choice and that the university should not be allowed to tell them whether they can smoke or not.
Because I just feel like it's not fair. I feel like it's a personal choice. So if you're trying to stop it for your health, that's cool and everything, but I feel like you should use your own e-cigarettes at your own risk.
Other students believe that it is time for everyone to finally understand the risks that they are facing.
A lot of people would just come and say, oh, you can die of anything, oh, you can die at any day, it's not because of the e-cigarette, but it's really bad, and if we could just shed the light and expose the story more to people, they would be, I don't want to end up like them.
Fusillo said that the new plan takes on a 3-pronged approach through awareness, education, and accountability. Alex Baylog, WVU News, Morgantown.
WVU is also trying to educate the public about the importance of a vaccine that could save your life.
That's right, Victoria. Cervical cancer is a preventable disease. And recently I attended a seminar at WVU where doctors described the HPV vaccine as a cancer-preventing shot. More than 32,000 men and women develop a cancer caused by HPV every year. But did you know that by getting the HPV vaccine, it's preventable by over 90%? Shelley Dusick was diagnosed when she was 18 years old. She tells her story of survival.
Cervical cancer, which is caused by HPV, can be cured, and we have a great successful rate, especially with early detection and screening. You can go on and live a very happy life for a long time, but there are always going to be things about that cancer diagnosis that stick with you.
Described as the cancer preventive shot, there are currently 3 licensed HPV vaccinations within the U.S. Residents in Morgantown can get their vaccination as easily as their groceries. In fact, there are several places in town that offer the vaccination.
Most people can go to their primary care provider. You can go to the health department. You can go to, if you're an adult, you can go to many of the pharmacies.
West Virginia ties with Kentucky for the highest rate of all HPV-related cancers and has the highest number of cervical cancer cases in America. But experts say cervical cancer could be prevented by the year 2030 if 80% of the population is vaccinated for the HPV virus.
I'm still bitter that cancer took many years and some of my quality of life. And so I would really love to be there on that day when we can say we have eradicated this disease from the world.
For the vaccine to be most effective, it's suggested to receive it between the ages of 11 and 12, but all males and females from the ages of 6 to 45 are eligible to get the shot.
If you're interested in getting the HPV vaccine, you can schedule an appointment with your doctor to have it prescribed. Most insurances will cover it.
Would you spend your money at a business who supported social causes you do not agree with?
It's no secret, Victoria, that you can find almost anything online, including corporations spend their money.
Megan Scarano joins us to explain. Megan?
Thanks, Victoria. Jillian, how loyal are you to your beliefs? Would you take to social media to let others know your opinion? Would you even go as far as to not eat at a certain food chain because you disagree with what they stand for? Well, some people are doing both. A recent trend of the hashtag boycott has been tweeted in reference to several corporations. The hashtag is taking over Twitter, mentioning popular establishments with locations in Morgantown, like Olive Garden, CVS, Jimmy John's, and Chick-fil-A.
I don't eat at Chick-fil-A because they don't support LGBT community rights.
And she is not alone. The hashtag boycott Chick-fil-A trended after the restaurant's grand opening in Toronto. Protests and the tweets demonstrated the public's disapproval on the fast food chain's financial support of anti-LGBTQ organizations. Want to know what type of causes your favorite companies support? Well, there's an app for that. Goods Unites Us allows you to find your favorite brand and see exactly what type of causes they support.
Really been aware of the ethical and sustainable impacts of companies and just taking that broader, just think that all corporations and all companies, any place a person spends their money, has an obligation of being transparent about where they spend their money.
One study shows the real impression of a boycott depends on how much media attention it generates. With hashtag boycott trending globally on Twitter, only time will tell if it impacts a wide margin of consumers. To stay up to date with the current boycott hashtags or to learn more, download the Goods Unite Us app on your smartphone.
Thanks, Megan, for that report. West Virginia is home to almost 60,000 LGBTQ adults, and around 1,000 same-sex couples in the Mountain State are raising children. So how does one city visually display a concept that Morgantown is an inclusive and welcoming community? Sarah Potaraki joins us now from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center with her segment, Storytelling with Data, to explain. Sarah?
Recently, the organization known as Morgantown Pride publicly thanked the residents of Morgantown and the city council members for making the dream of a Pride crosswalk a reality.
Earlier this month, local nonprofit Morgantown Pride announced that after a lengthy process, their new Pride crosswalk has been installed in South Park. The ribbon-cutting ceremony featured a number of speakers, including Delegate Danielle Walker, Councilmember Barry Wendell, and Morgantown Mayor Bill Kowecki. President of Morgantown Pride, Ash Cutright, got the idea from other cities.
You know, with Morgantown being a non-discrimination ordinance city, I thought it was kind of odd that we really didn't have anything that encapsulates the LGBTQ community. So I thought, why not start with something basic like a crosswalk?
West Virginia has the highest population of transgender 13 to 17-year-olds in the United States, which is only one reason why the crosswalk here at Green Street and Wilson Avenue is so important. Among LGBTQ+ residents, South Park is often referred to as the neighborhood of Morgantown, but it is not the only area with a large LGBTQ+ presence.
With a 4% LGBTQ population in West Virginia, Brad Grimes and Callie Fisher speak to the importance of having a supportive community.
I don't have to just rely on pockets of safety here on campus, but the larger community is welcoming and supportive. So it's just great to see that there's a real interest in LGBTQ matters, concerns, and outreach and inclusivity.
So as a queer student, the Rainbow Crosswalk shows visibility for us and acceptance.
The total adult population of West Virginia is roughly 1.4 million. Of those adults, over 57,000 are in the LGBTQ community.
People have taken pictures with their dogs. I've seen family members cross this. I've seen lovers grab hands and skip across it. So there has been a lot of love shown here on the crosswalk already.
Morgantown Pride members say the Pride Crosswalk is a symbol of acceptance in the community. They hope to paint other rainbow crosswalks in downtown and in Suncrest. Back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Sarah. While the painting of the Pride crosswalk was free, officials say poor road conditions cost taxpayers over $1 billion each year in the Mountain State.
And almost $2 million has been spent on one road in Mon County. As Madison Greer reports, River Road in Westover has finally reopened.
At the intersection of DuPont and Industrial Park, drivers can turn onto River Road for the first time in nearly 2 years. The road was closed after the Department of Highways noticed the road slipping off of this cliffside. The Mon County Canine Adoption Center sits along River Road, and employee Kelly Wilkins says that the reopening will be great for business.
When it was closed, we had less flow of traffic, less flow of people willing to adopt because they didn't want to go the long way around.
Drivers began using nearby DuPont Road when River Road officially closed for construction in the fall of 2017.
And you can see here that this cliffside had caved in and covered the road. But this isn't the only section where the Department of Highways had a problem. Here is another section of the road that had caved in. In all, it cost nearly $2 million to fix.
When River Road was designed, we never had schools up there. Now we have 2 schools up there, so you got that school traffic coming through at a certain part of the day. So you combine all these factors of I can't use the access road, the old River Road, I have to come through Westover. That almost doubled to almost tripled our traffic between a certain time of the day.
The Westover Police Department thought River Road should have remained closed. They said the road has difficulty supporting heavy traffic. Madison Greer, WVU News, Westover.
I bet football fans in Westover are happy to have a shorter route to the stadium.
You're probably right, Jillian, and now that WVU football is back in full swing, so is our Mountaineer mascot.
Coming up after the break, Glenn Kittle gives us a behind-the-scenes look on what it means to be the new mascot.
I'm Glenn Kittle, and coming up on WVU News, I'll be showing off our 66 mascot and revealing the man behind the musket.
When we started our journey, we had no idea where it would lead us. Until we found a place where experiences became a way of life, and connections became unbreakable bonds. For us, it's a second home, and wherever we roam, it will always be a part of us. The place we became Mountaineers.
This was the second game for the new head football coach, Neil Brown, but he wasn't the only one making an appearance for the Mountaineers.
Michael Rinker joins us now with sports to tell us more. Michael?
Thanks, Victoria. Jillian. Timothy Eads is our 66th Mountaineer. He's also a student of the Reed College of Media. The sophomore PR major from Buffalo, West Virginia, served as the backup mascot last year. But this year, when Timothy puts on the leather suit and the coonskin hat, that's when he gets all business for the new Mountaineer. Sports reporter Glenn Kittle caught up with Timothy on the football field. He said becoming the new mascot is fulfilling a lifelong dream. Timothy Eads says he wanted to be the Mountaineer since 2013. The Mountaineer is required to attend all home football and women's and men's basketball games while maintaining a 2.5 GPA. Even though the role does take up a lot of his time, he knows that he's representing the school and the fans, which is what matters most to him. Timothy says that being the mascot is a feeling like no other, and that the mascot embodies everything that West Virginia as a whole means and represents. He heard his name announced in February at the men's basketball game against Texas Christian University.
Wow, that sounds like a dream come true for Timothy.
Yes, it does, and he's not the only one to have dreams come true this year. A local director had recently had his dream come to life after he filmed his film entitled Kecksburg. The film is loosely based on the famed December 1965 UFO event that gained national attention after a UFO crashed in the woods outside of the city of Pittsburgh in a small town called Kecksburg. It was shot on location in West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Our very own Darren Hartwell was invited to the red carpet movie premiere at the State Theater in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Over 1,000 people showed up to its premiere. The film was produced and directed by local filmmaker Cody Knotts.
And one of the scenes was actually shot right here in Morgantown at the Hotel Morgan downtown, Jillian. Well, that's it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online on our website.
You can also watch our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm Jillian Brooks.
And I'm Victoria Donatelli. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.